the enterprise analysis tool we have developed to analyze mixing in StirTech. So for today's webinar, this is the outline of the talk, where first I will discuss about the uh, scale-up rules, typical scale-up rules. Very briefly, we will discuss about what are various scale-up rules. And then we will see what challenges the process engineers face when applying the scale-up rules for scale-up and tech transfer, and how Mixit can help the process engineer to mitigate these challenges. We will see in an overview of the Mixit software what different features it has and how it helps the process engineer to mitigate these challenges. After that, we will explain you a few case studies where we have used Mixit to solve those problems for many of our clients. And the case studies will cover many physics which typically encountered in the scale-up and tech transfer processes. So to begin, the scale-up and design rules, there are various guidelines which are available to design the or scale up the batch reactor or the processes we carry out in batch reactors. So based on the process type of process we are dealing with, the scale-up rules will be defined based on that process. So for example, mixing of miscible liquids, when we are trying to mix two different miscible liquids, then we typically look at the mixing time or blend time as the scale-up parameter. We try to equate between the mixing time between the lab scale and the pilot or plant scale vessel. Similarly, for solid suspension, we look at the critical impeller speed for out-bottom suspension, which makes to ensure that solids are suspended off the vessel bottom and their maximum interfacial area is available for the solid liquid mass transfer process. In gas liquid mass transfer, gas liquid processes, we look at the gas liquid mass transfer, which are governed by typical the power per unit volume or the mass transfer coefficients. For heat transfer, we look at the heat transfer coefficients, and for fast reactions, typically are governed by the micro mixing time scales. So for various processes, we can look at various different parameters, and there is a list of parameters typically we look at when we try to design and scale up our processes for a batch start and reactors. So these are the scale-up rules. Let's look at what are the design methods very briefly. So typical design methods available to the engineers are that, okay, we need to design and scale up the system. Let's try to understand how we can estimate those mixing parameters or those scale-up rules, which we just looked at. So empirical correlations can be used. However, this, as I can show you here, that empirical correlations are available to estimate all these scale-up parameters. However, they heavily depend upon the impeller characteristic, which is the power number or flow number of an impeller. So to use correlations, the accurate estimation or the proper estimation of the impeller characteristic, impeller power number and flow number is necessary to get the desired or accurate estimation of our scale-up parameter. And this power number and flow number data for the impeller is available in standard conditions, standard systems, and typically only available in the turbulent regime. And then these correlations will give us average information, average quantities in terms of what is the average velocity or what is the blend time. It will not tell us in-depth analysis of what is happening in the tank. So this typical correlations can be definitely used for standard systems when the impeller characteristics are available to us, and these are typically available for all the standard impellers. However, when we enter into non-standard systems, non-standard impellers, combination of impeller acting in the vessel, then correlations may or may not be appropriate to look into or may not work for us. And that time we need to, we can do the analysis using computational models or experimental methods. So let's look at computational models, what they give us. So we can estimate the impeller characteristic using computational model. That means you can estimate impeller power number and flow number. Once the simulation is performed, the forces on the impellers or torque on the impeller can be extracted from the simulation data to calculate the impeller flow number and an impeller power number. At the same time, these CFD simulations can be very easily applied to non-standard systems where the data for the correlation is not available. And this provides us in-depth analysis in terms of the flow pattern, the velocity distribution, shear distribution, particle shear history, which can be used in the bioprocesses where exposure of the microorganism is very critical to shear. If they are exposed to very high shear, then the process performance is impacted. So various different parameters we can estimate using CFD methods. However, to apply these methods, one needs to be an expert in using or application of these methods. So we looked into what are the various scale-up parameters, what are the design methods available to us, so correlations, and then CFD analysis can be used as the design methods or predict what would be the performance of the design vessel for the mixing characteristic. Now let's look at what are the typical challenges a process engineer will face when he is trying to do a scale-up or a tech transfer analysis. So first step typically involved in all the scale-up or tech transfer is to collect the data in terms of the vessel dimensions, vessel geometry information, and the process information in terms of what is the viscosity of the fluid, what is the density, what is the operating RPM. So the process engineer to collect this data from the lab or the plant team, and many times the challenges typically faced in this step are that we get delayed information, so that there is a delay in getting this information from the lab or the plant team. And again, the accuracy of information. Many times we will get some drawings, those drawings may not be updated, and then that makes it very challenging for the process engineer to get accurate dimensions or accurate process conditions and then do the subsequent calculations. When doing estimating the scalar parameters and to fine tune the designs, the typical challenges faced are, okay, we need to the process engineer now you need to use the correlations. So then we need to do manual calculations or automate these correlations in the or codify these correlations in Excel sheets to make sure that we can use them repetitive. So the process engineer needs to look out for all these correlations in the literature and then codify them in the Excel sheet and then use them. So that is one challenge as typical process engineer face when using correlations. Now, when correlation does not work, then the next approach available is either we can do experiments, which can be expensive, and then we can use the CFD analysis methods as well, the numerical models to get the a priori predictions. However, when to use numerical models, it requires expertise in terms of carrying out different processes or different steps which are involved, like preparation of the CAD model, then the meshing operation where you split the domain into very small number of cells and then do the computation at each and every cell. Then it requires time as well to perform all these steps, and the process engineers may or may not be expert in doing these analysis or doing these various steps. Also, after performing the simulations or doing the analysis, extracting the results from the simulation is one of the critical thing which the process engineer needs to spend time or need to understand or need to learn. So we looked at what are the various typical steps we do when we do scale up and tech transfer, but then these are the challenges faced. Now let's understand how Mixit can help the process engineers to mitigate these challenges. So Mixit has a database module where user can store the database and share between the team as well. So the user can quickly create database of their vessel geometry, store the process information, and this database is completely shared among multiple users. So let's say a plant team is entering the data, that the engineer sitting in the R&D location can access the data, perform the analysis and submit the result back to the plant team, highlighting what are the various issues in mixing and what typical changes they need to make to improve those mixing performance. To do the analysis in terms of correlations, Mixit has inbuilt correlations which can be used to perform all those, to estimate all those scale-up parameters. Similarly, if the user is not comfortable using the default inbuilt correlation, we have the user-defined correlations as well, which can help the engineer to they can input their own correlations using all the dimensions and process condition, and then use those correlation to estimate their scale-up parameters. Similarly, when it comes to CFD, as we see that there are many steps involved in the CFD simulations, and then it takes time, or it needs expertise for the process engineer to perform those steps. In Mixit, the CFD analysis process is fully automated. So right from starting from preparation of the CAD model to generation of mesh and simulation, setting up the simulation, extracting the results from the simulation, the required result in terms of all the scale-up parameters is fully automated. It can be just done at a click of a button. You just need to click a button, and then the whole process of CFD simulation will be completed fully automated. Apart from that, there is a challenge typically we will face when we do CFD analysis, that preparation of the complex model of the impeller, which is typically a complex geometry many times. So we provide support to our clients in terms of preparing those CAD models. We have a CAD expert team which prepares those CAD models and can provide you quickly. You can import them in Mixit quickly and then do the analysis with Mixit. So let's look at the features of the Mixit software. So we have the database, various designs can be quickly configured in this using these cylindrical or rectangular tank. And there is a customizable impeller library. So a newly created impeller geometry can be quickly added to Mixit and then used for the detailed CFD analysis. So these are various features. I would like to quickly take you through the Mixit interface and introduce various features of Mixit. So we have, as I mentioned, we have 3 different steps here in Mixit. One is the database module, where user can create the database and create the database of various vessel geometries and then their process conditions. Correlation-based analysis can be performed in the reactor analysis module, as well as the fully automated CFD analysis can be performed in the CFD module. So let's look at the database module first. Here, user can create various geometries. I have few geometries being loaded up here, and look at the various conditions in terms of the process condition. Vessel geometries, we have cylindrical as well as rectangular vessel. Various dish bottom shapes are available for the user to change from. So you can have the conical dish, or the flat surface, or the elliptical bottom, or hemispherical bottom. All those different dish shapes can be used in the analysis. Similarly, user can use the baffles. So user can customize the baffles. You can use standard baffles or various different baffle shapes available, which are typically used in the glass line vessels, like flat baffle, finger baffles. Those different baffle shapes are available. User can customize the number of baffles, like from 4 baffles you can change to 3 baffles, or customize the baffles and even customize their different parameters as well. Now coming to impeller, we have a library of impeller where user can select between various impeller shapes and then look at the impeller model in the fully interactive 3D graphics. So you can specify the impeller model, quickly select that impeller model. You can specify multiple impellers on the same shaft. So multi-flight impellers can be easily added there. User can quickly provide those details, and then multi-flight impellers can be quickly added there. Then Mixit also allows you to specify off-centered as well as angled impellers. So offset can be quickly provided, and then you can have offset impellers. These can be angled impellers as well. Or then there are various options available to either mount the impeller from the side or from the bottom. So all those different configurations can be provided using in here. So let's look at, so these are how you can provide various different dimensions. Then various internals like coils can be provided, multiple helical coils. You can change the dimensions of the coil, number of turns, and specify those parameters. So using this, user can specify various geometry parameters. User can specify the ring spar here, which can be typically used in the gas dispersion application. So a ring sparger can be provided. Similarly, the various probes or the dip pipes which are used in the vessel can also be provided. So I have a quick example of that dip pipe thing. So here user can provide how different dip pipes can be provided in a given vessel to represent those sampling probes or the thermocouples placed. which acts as baffle and hinder the flow pattern in the vessel. So here you can provide quickly the geometry information. This can be a built database and can be shared among multiple users using our central database utility. Then user can provide the process conditions like the operating volume and then the operating liquid level, and the volume will be estimated. It will be highlighted with this blue color in this so that user can understand what is the fill level. Provide the density, viscosity, various non-Newtonian models are available to capture the fluid rheology and the impact of shear on the fluid viscosity. Those can be captured. Specify the impeller speed in terms of the impeller RPM and the direction of rotation as well. So is it a clockwise or a counterclockwise to consider? Typically in case of a pitch blade turbine, it can be up pumping or down pumping. So that can be controlled using the clockwise or anti-clockwise direction of rotation. Similarly, user can specify the conditions for their if there are any solids or gas involved. Those different details can be provided in the disperse space conditions. And similarly, heat transfer details can be provided to simulate or understand the heat transfer performance of the vessel. So this is a quick overview of the database module. In the reactor analysis module, user can quickly select multiple options and then do the correlation based analysis. This is from one of the examples which I will discuss, but quickly show you that user can compare the mixing performance between the two vessels very quickly and on all those different parameters like speed, power consumption, scale of agitation, which is indication of how good is mixing, and then blend time, the average shear, power per unit volume, and many different parameters are listed here which can be calculated using the correlation based analysis. Similarly, we have the CFD module where, as I indicated, that the CFD process is fully automated. So user can quickly select the vessel for the analysis. There are various settings available. So advanced CFD users can definitely play with these settings. For the users who may not be very well accustomed with the process of CFD or the settings of this parameter, they can keep these parameters default and then start the simulation. Now CFD is a number crunching process, and based on the number of processors you want to use on your machine, the simulation time will be controlled based on the capacity of the machine processor. So here you can use multiple processors to speed up your analysis, and typically we recommend that a 4 processor machine should be available to perform or to get the simulation in a decent time, which is typically 3 to 4 hours time for one simulation. User can also specify multiple heat transfer simulation, mixing simulation using the species model where the blob of a tracer is added at a certain location and this mixing pattern can be understood. Similarly, the solids suspension profiles as well as gas dispersion profile can be understood using the particle simulations along with the liquid flow simulations to understand how the solids are suspended or how the gas is getting dispersed, which is either introduced from a sparger or from a dip tube. So all these different analyses can be performed using Mixit. So this is a quick overview of Mixit, what different features is it, and we can definitely give you the details of this if you are interested. Then coming back to the discussion of today's presentation, which is how we can use Mixit to explain or to perform various analysis for our scale-up or our tech transfer processes. So let's understand this. So we have various case studies. So case study 1 is where the requirement was that to estimate the RPM for a plant scale vessel, and the scale-up parameter was mixing time. So just to describe you the problem definition, a process involving mixing of two miscible liquids and leading to the subsequent reaction was being proven at lab scale, and the studies were done in a 1 liter vessel, which gives the desired results. Now this needed, the process needed to be transferred to the plant scale vessel. These are the typical geometries of the pilot scale, lab scale, and the plant scale vessels involved in the analysis. So how we can do that? We have the database available in Mixit. The typical approach would be to decide first what is the scale-up parameter. Now here we know that there is a mixing of two different liquids, so mixing time will govern the how the mixing time need to match between the lab scale and the plant scale vessel. How you can estimate the mixing time is that now if we look at the configurations or design, it is a typical standard system, so correlation can be used for the system. So we can use correlations, and this is the typical correlations which can be used to estimate the mixing time in a turbulent flow regime. And then we can perform use multiple RPM conditions and check where we get the desired mixing time in the plant scale vessel, which is equivalent to our lab scale vessel, so that the performances or the reaction performance is matched between the lab scale and the plant scale vessel. So how we can quickly do it in Mixit is that we have the data, let's say the database is already available to the user, so then you can quickly select these two vessels, select these vessels, and then you can, at plant vessel, you can define multiple RPM conditions and then select them. Let's 60 RPM, 75 RPM, and 95 RPM, select them and compare them and see which of the plant scale configuration or the RPM matches the mixing time in the lab scale. So this is the lab scale and this is the plant scale data, and here we can see that the 14 seconds which are there in the lab can be easily in the lab configuration can be easily matched with the 95 RPM condition in the plant's vessel. So here you can quickly analyze the performance of the plant scale vessel at different RPM, understand how you can match the mixing time, which RPM helps you to match the mixing time, and then proceed with that given RPM. So this is how easily it is to perform the scale up and analysis and arrive at the required parameter for a given study in Mixit. Then coming back to the second study, so let's come back to the second study where we can see that, so here you can see that multiple conditions RPMs and the 16 seconds at 95 RPM can be matched with the 14, typically the 14 seconds at the lab scale, and hence we can select the 95 RPM as the RPM for the plant vessel. Now coming back to the second study, which was troubleshooting when there was a mixing issue because of increasing the batch size. So the problem was that there was a process being carried out in a vessel where multiple impellers were involved, and then there was some typical batch size which was being used, and then there were no mixing issues for the original batch size. Now, due to the requirement of the process or the product output, the batch size was slightly increased, and the team was getting the plant team was getting some mixing issues in the processes. So typically, one can use the correlations as we see now and then calculate the mixing time using the correlations. You can use quickly Mixit again to select and understand what happens with the correlation. Now here you can see that the mixing time is same in both the cases for the original batch and the increased batch. So here, as the correlation is not providing us detail, that correlation is saying us that the mixing is same in both the vessel because the time is same. However, still the plant is facing the problem of some convergence and selectivity, which is typically because of the mixing. So let's see, can we do CFD analysis and then understand get more in-depth analysis or in-depth information into the process into the vessel performance. So here user can quickly select the both the original batch and the increased batch and perform the mixing simulation, understand the flow pattern. Similarly, he can do the user can do the tracer mixing analysis where you add a blob of a colored dye, let's say, and then understand how it mixes in the system. So these can be done numerically, and you can do that using Mixit very quickly. You can queue up your simulation. So if you need to perform 2 simulations, you can queue them up and just hit the start button, and the 2 simulations will be completed. Once you get the results, let's look at if CFD can provide us some detailed analysis. So when the CFD was performed, we can see that there is a low velocity region in the top region of the tank, And if you look at the mixing profile, it shows us that because of this low velocity region, there is a delayed mixing in the top region of the tank, which is hampering the process performance. Now we can see here that the correlations are saying us that in both the systems the mixing time is same. However, the where if we use the CFD model, we can get more detailed analysis and see where is the problem. Now we know the problem, and let's see what we can do to mitigate this problem. So we can quickly test in Mixit automated CFD that okay, let's see if we can uniformly distribute the impeller, if that helps us to mitigate this mixing problem, or which of the options will work best for us. If we look at the option one, typically we can say that yes, the impellers are more uniformly distributed now, and it will give us the uh, desired mixing performance. However, look at the flow pattern being generated, then we can see that the top impeller is forming its own loop, and then the bottom two impellers are forming their separate loop. This leads to the mixing issues we can see in the next slide. In the option 2, we can see that both all the three impellers have an interacting flow pattern, and they are forming the single circulation loops. And what does it impact? Here we can see that when the top impeller is forming a separate loop, we see that the added tracer or whatever the added reagent get first distributed in the top region, and then slowly comes in the bottom section of the tank, because there is a disintegration, or there is no communication between the flow of this impeller and the flow of these two impellers. However, in this case, all three impellers are interacting, and we can see that the quick mixing of the uh, tracer or the added reagent, and then the desired mixing time is in 16 seconds. So here what we can see that in some systems correlation can give us some good results, and then we can rely on correlations. However, in some systems we need to look beyond correlations, get in-depth analysis, perform some in-depth numerical models, CFD models, and get in-depth analysis. And as Mixit have fully automated, it can help you to do these analysis very quickly. So if I look at this case study, this study which we perform for our client, the typical time you look at how many simulations are performed. First, we did 2 simulations, and those gives us understand what is the problem, and then we perform 2 additional simulations. So typical 4 simulations. These 4 simulations were completed in about like a couple of days time, and then we were able to get results in 2 to 3 days of time. So this is how you can accelerate your scale-up and tech transfer using Mixit, and then provide solutions quickly to mitigate the mixing problems. Third case study is the problem was to select the optimum RPM. The batch size was varying. So the problem was that the reactor was designed for a particular batch size, but then because of some demand or some changes in the product demand, it was decided to perform at various batch sizes to address the product demand challenges. So if the process involved was there was some particles, or some solids particles were getting formed, and then the problem observed was that if we operate at a very low volume, or lower than the desired volume for which the vessel was designed for, the particle damage was observed at the lower batch sizes. Now what was happening is that the vessel was designed for 2700 liter, and the RPM was designed for that vessel volume. Now as you use the same RPM at the lower volumes as well, definitely the shear rates will be high. So you can quickly do analysis, CFD analysis, understand the shear levels, and then try to do these analysis at different RPMs and see that where you can match the shear rates and optimize the RPM. So here the 117 RPM was used for 2.7 kiloliter batch size. Now you can see that to match the desired shear levels, what different RPMs you can use to get the desired shear levels. And these all different analysis can be quickly performed in Mixit, and you can perform at various batch sizes and various RPMs and get the desired results. So the RPM was at the higher scale was fixed, because there was some heat transfer requirement. Now to get the desired particle size or to control the particle damage, the RPMs were lowered. However, then the heat transfer rates were controlled by increasing the flow through the jacket or increasing the utility flow through the jacket to get the desired heat transfer rates, because the RPM is reduced now for the lower batch sizes. So this is one of the example where the advanced CFD analysis can help us to understand the detailed in-depth performance of the vessel, and Mixit comes in picture or helps you to do those analysis in a fully automated way. Similar, you can also, in the next case study, we have addressed the challenge of understanding what RPM should be used to do the get the catalyst suspended in a process which is governed by the, which is where the catalysts are being used. So a lab scale vessel was there, and here let's say the database is available. You can understand what there was a angled impeller in this case. So the database was quickly created in Mixit and at various RPMs. Then understood that what is the critical impeller speed using correlations. This is a standard system again, and correlation can be applied there. So we can use correlation to understand what is the critical impeller speed. And now let's see if at this critical impeller speed are the solids suspended well, or are they uniformly distributed or not. So we can do quick CFD analysis to check what is the flow pattern and how the solids are suspended. So at 100 RPM, which is less than the critical impeller speed, we can see that solids are settled at the bottom. At the critical impeller speed, solids are now started suspending. And if we use a RPM which is typically 3 times the critical impeller speed, then we can see that the particles are uniformly distributed over the vessel volume. So here, this example shows that how we can use the detailed analysis to understand the particle suspension characteristic, if they are uniformly distributed or not across the vessel volume. Those kind of information can be quickly analyzed, and all these simulations were performed using Mixit. So user can do that, where you can quickly select the vessel for the CFD analysis, and then once you do this, you can quickly select it and say that you want to solve for solids as well, and that the solids initially are settled at the bottom, and then once the analysis is performed, you can get the desired results in terms of the results where you can see the characteristic of the suspension at different RPMs from the analysis. So then there are many more case studies which I can highlight and take you through in terms of what more analysis can be done using the Mixit software. One such case study which we performed for one of our clients is that the problem was that for a given configuration, there was not a good dispersion of the light powder, or the less dense, the powder having density less than the liquid. It was added at the top, and we can see that because of the flow pattern here, the recirculation loop forming above the top impeller, we can see that the particles are not getting uniformly distributed. However, change in the impeller locations, getting the complete circulation loop and then avoiding this top recirculation loop, can help us in distributing the powder very well into the mixing tank. Similarly, you can use the analysis to understand what RPM you can use, or what RPM to be set for a gas dispersion analysis, where the requirement was to understand at which RPM we can get a good dispersion of gas which is coming from the sparger. And here quick analysis can be performed, multiple CFD simulations you can do to understand the flow pattern as well as the dispersion of gas bubbles in the vessel. You can also simulate complex impeller geometries where there is maybe an anchor impeller and then the hydrofoil impeller rotating in the center, and then get detailed performance in terms of the impeller power numbers, flow numbers, what is the average power consumption, what is the blend time, and then what is the average velocity, what are the turbulence levels in the vessel. All those different information can be quickly analyzed using Mixit as the analysis software. Mixit also provides you correlations which can predict the vortex shape and this is our comparison with one of the literature available data. And then you can see that for standard systems, the correlations can predict very well the vortex shape, and the comparison with the vessels. The experimental data is available here. One more thing which I would like to highlight is that typically what we discuss is that yes, to use the correlations, we need the impeller characteristic in terms of flow number and power number. Now, one may say that, okay, why I need detailed CFD analysis each and every time? So the solution there is that what we can do is we can perform the multiple, we can build the impeller CAD model, add it in Mixit, and then perform simulations at multiple Reynolds number, and then generate the impeller power number versus Reynolds number curve. Digitize these curves to get the impeller power number as a function of Reynolds number. Input these parameters in the impeller library, which is there in the Mixit software. You can go to the impeller library and see various details, and these are the parameters which you need to estimate as a part of this curve to digitize this curve. So what happens is that you can then use these characteristics and then perform the correlation based analysis as well. So for, let's say, an example, there is a new impeller and there is no data available in terms of the power number and flow number for those impeller. So user can add that impeller model in Mixit, perform few CFD simulations to generate this curve, digitize this curve using this equation, estimate these constants, and then feed this constant in Mixit, and then you can use correlations as well to get quick estimation of the mixing parameters or the scale up or the scale up or scale down parameters. So this is how a quick overview of the Mixit software, which can help you to perform your analysis, accelerate your analysis using both correlation as well as advanced models. To summarize, yes, estimation of mixing performance of a batch reactor is very important to address our scale up, scale down, troubleshooting mixing problems during scale up, scale down, and troubleshooting. Process engineers typically face challenges in terms of collection of data from the plant and estimation of these scale up parameters using correlations or advanced CFD analysis. Mixit softwares helps the process engineers to mitigate these challenges, where we have the database module, where user can create and maintain the database of the vessel and then share it between multiple users. Quickly use the correlations and perform the mixing analysis using correlations. Also, user can perform very easily the CFD analysis, advanced analysis, which is fully automated in Mixit software. So with this, this is what I wanted to discuss with you all today. Thank you for your attention, and the forum is now open for questions.
Thank you, Dr. Kasek. We are now going to begin answering the questions submitted during the presentation. As a reminder, you can still submit the questions through the questions pane in the attendee control panel. So Dr. Kasek, our first question is, how much extra processing time does it require if we are adding solids to the model?
Yeah, so as I indicated that the solids analysis, so what we typically do is we first solve the flow, then we freeze the flow and solve for the particles only. So the processing time added is typically, if the simulation time is about 3 to 4 hours, more you can add 10-15 minutes for solving the solids. Now look at it as that these are not detailed multi-phase simulations. We are just tracking the trajectories of the solid particles, which are based on the flow pattern in the vessel. So the impact of solids on the flow pattern is not considered, but the impact of flow pattern on the solids trajectories is considered here. So these are DPM based models which we use to understand the trajectories of the solids and the gas bubbles as well. So both similar type of analysis is being done for the gas distribution analysis. Yeah. So the additional processing time is very less compared to what we require for the flow simulation.
The second question for today, Dr. Kasek, is Are there any limitations in Mixit with respect to the viscosity of liquids?
Yeah, so as I indicated you that we have various viscosity models available to define for the user. So you can, and Mixit CFD is being optimized to handle the highly viscous conditions which are at low Reynolds number, laminar condition, from laminar to transition and to turbulent conditions. So you can see that we can handle various fluid rheologies, and similarly based on the Reynolds number estimate we can handle both. All the various models are available to address the requirement for laminar, as well as various different turbulence models are available to address the turbulence flow regimes. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. The another question is, which properties of suspended solids do you take into account?
Yeah. So when we define the solids, let me quickly highlight that. So we take into account the average particle size. So we take into account the density of the particle, the average particle size, and the loading, that is the weight by volume, weight percent of the solids particle into the analysis.
Next question is it possible to analyze a system where liquid properties are changing while solid is being generated over time? For example, a mixture where a solid is slowly precipitating out of the solution.
Yeah, so what we can do is we can do this analysis in a stepwise manner where we can create multiple steps like we created for multiple RPMs. We can quickly create multiple steps here and say that, okay, now solids are generated and the weight fraction is 10% and the particle size is certain. Then maybe over a period of time the particle size is changing, so you can do a second analysis at, let's say, the second higher particle size. So this is how you can do a stepwise analysis and understand at different conditions. That is the best method available at present in Mixit, because doing a continuous analysis, again, it makes it very complex simulations, and the simulation time will be very high to do these complete transient analysis.
Yeah. Another question on similar lines: how well does model account for changing material properties with addition of powders, or shear thinning and shear thinning?
Correct. So typically, let's say we are taking a liquid in the vessel, and then we are adding powder to the liquid. Now, because of as the powder get mixed, the viscosity might be increasing over a period of time. So similar to as I explained before, that we can do stepwise analysis. So we can do the analysis at lower viscosity. Then after certain resolution of the powder, after a certain time, we know that the viscosity is increased. Then we can do at a higher viscosity, and so on and so forth. So you can break down the transient analysis in multiple steps and understand mixing analysis at various different viscosity conditions.
Another question is regarding does it account for shear thinning and shear thickening liquids?
Yes, at present we have shear thinning models available, and we will be incorporating shear thickening models as well very soon in Mixit software. So at present we have all shear thinning models available in Mixit.
Does the size of the vessel affect the CFD processing time?
Yes, definitely, because the number of cells we use to do the computations will increase, and that impacts. The typical time which I mentioned is for a kiloliter scale vessel. On a 4-processor machine, it will take about 3 to 4 hours to complete the CFD analysis, including the particle analysis as well. Now, as you increase or decrease the vessel size, the simulation time will increase. However, if you are able to increase your machine capacity, then you can address those simulation time problems as well, or minimize those simulation time.
Anna, so the last question for today, does the system account for coalescence?
At present, the system does not account for coalescence. It will treat these particles as separate particles, or treat these bubbles as a constant size bubble. So incorporating coalescence and breakup models in these automated CFD simulations can be a overloaded simulation. However, if we know the average solids particle size or average bubble size, then that gives us a decent information in terms of what we need to make, the engineering judgment we need to make to design and modify the or decide the RPM to sustain the solids or gas dispersion. Yes.
Okay. So with that, we have reached the end of the Q&A session. If you have any more questions, please feel free to write to us. So thank you, Dr. Kasad, and thank you everyone for attending today's webinar. If you have any more questions or if you need any information regarding our upcoming webinars, please contact us at info@tridiagonal.com. On behalf of Tridiagonal Solutions and our presenter, thank you for joining us today. Have a great day ahead.
Thank you.